spiritual.
Yeah.
Everything in science tells us that the principle of cause and effect holds, and that the effects cannot be bigger than the causes. But if you take an atheistic worldview, you're demanding bigger effects than the causes, and bigger by many, many orders of magnitude. That violates the scientific method.
I'm convinced. Is planet Earth in a special place in the universe?
I think it's in a special place and also a special time. We're here at the right time and the right place.
Tell me, now you folks stay with us here, because this is material you're not going to hear anywhere else. So you really listen up, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime golden opportunity. Tell me, planet Earth in a special place, in a special time?
Well, we're not at the center of the solar system. We're not at the center of our galaxy, and our galaxy is not at the center of the Virgo supercluster.
How many galaxies in the universe?
Oh, a little more than 200 billion medium and large-sized galaxies, and about 100 times as many dwarf galaxies.
And the universe is actually a million times bigger than we see it, because it's
well, at least several hundred times, because the universe we see is a universe of the past, and the universe is expanding. So the universe of today must be bigger than the universe that we see through our telescopes.
Okay. Tell me, how is the Earth in a special place in the universe?
Well, special for two reasons. We're living at the one locale within these 50 billion trillion stars that we can see where we can survive and thrive. I mean, I can conceive maybe of other places in the universe where you might be able to have bacterial life living for a few months, but we are living on the one planet where advanced life is possible.
It's safe.
We're in a safe spot. I mean, if we were at the center of the galaxy, we'd be wiped out by the supergiant black hole there.
Of course.
And if we were too far away from the center of the galaxy, we wouldn't have the elements that we would need to make advanced life possible. And we're also living what's called the co-rotation distance, where our solar system goes around the center of the galaxy at the same rate the spiral structure rotates. That's the safe spot to be, but it's also the one place where you get a clear view of the universe.
It's the darkest spot.
We're living in the darkest life conceivable location in our galaxy, and our galaxy is in the darkest life conceivable location in the universe.
Somebody wants us to look out.
Well, that's my whole point. The Bible tells us that heavens declare the glory of God. What we've astronomers discovered is there's only one place where you can reside in this vast universe, where you get to see the whole story of the universe from the moment it was created right up to the present day. It's the safest place, the best place to live, the only place where advanced life can survive and thrive, but it's also the only place where you can do astrophysics.
As a scientist who is also a devout Christian, what would you say to a young person who has been confronted by arguments, say, from Professor Dawkins, that there is no God? What would you say to a young person who is honestly searching for true faith?
Well, I would tell him that I know of many prominent atheist scientists who have become Christians, who were not raised in Christian homes, including Nobel laureate. But what they've all said is that there's 4 evidences that persuaded them that the God of the Bible must be the creator. Number 1, the creation of the universe. The space-time theorems prove that there must be an agent beyond space and time that created the universe. The second piece of evidence is the design of the universe that makes life possible. As Freeman Dyson, an agnostic physicist, put it, when you look at the universe, you cannot avoid the conclusion that somehow the universe knew we were coming. It was designed in advance in a very highly fine-tuned way for human beings. Some people call this the anthropic principle. The third piece of evidence, origin of life. When you look at the origin of life, you realize there is no naturalistic pathway to make it possible. If you got no prebiotics and no time, you got no naturalistic possible explanation. God must have created it. And the fourth piece of evidence, and by the way, there's more than 4, but these are the 4 that they consistently name that persuaded them to become Christians. Number 4 is the origin of human beings.
Yes.
And it was Francisco Ayala, a famous evolutionary biologist, who said, we all know that the first life was unicellular, bacterial life. If you start with bacteria and you assume very optimistic Darwinian principles are in effect, the best that Dawkins could ever imagine, the probability that you'd wind up with human beings or the functional equivalent that probability is less than 1 chance in 10 to the 1/1,000,000th power.
Oh, goodness.
And Ayala was making the point that Darwinian evolution always favors simplicity over complexity. What we see in the history of life is the opposite. You go from simplicity to increasing levels of complexity. And moreover, we're now recognizing, as Psalm 104 states, every life form that's ever existed on the face of the earth plays a role in preparing the planet for human beings. And also, I would add, if you look at the faint sun paradox, in fact, 3 physicists corrected Francisco Ayala and said, you assumed that the solar system was constant over time. We know that's not true. The sun gets brighter and brighter as it gets older and older. And as we look at the history of Earth, you see this in Psalm 104. It's a property of all life to die off, but God recreates and renews the face of the earth. God knows the future physics of the sun, that it's getting brighter and brighter. Therefore, he steps in and removes life from planet Earth, replaces it with new life that more efficiently pulls greenhouse gases out of the Earth's atmosphere. So as the sun gets brighter and brighter, the life on planet Earth compensates by pulling out the greenhouse gases so that the temperature in the surface of the Earth remains ideal for life. A profound challenge to the evolutionary paradigm, because now you need someone who knows the future physics of the sun with great precision to make sure you got the right life on the planet at the right time to keep everything ideal and at the same time build up biodeposits that the future human species will need to launch and sustain civilization. And it was John Barrow and Frank Tipler who said the probability is actually less than 1 chance in 10 to the 24,000,000th power.
Dr. Ross?
Yes.
I want to thank you today. You've given us many, many, many reasons to believe that there's a great creator God. And I want to thank you so much today for being our special guest. I want to thank you too for joining us. Please write to me here in the United States, John Carter, Post Office Box 1900, Thousand Oaks, California, 91358. In Australia, write to me at the address on the screen at Terrigal. You and I have reasons to believe. And so until next time, may God richly bless you.